Informatics Ethical Assignment, Case Number 5. Katie Martling, Bon Secours College of Nursing. On my honor, I have neither given nor received aid on this assignment or test, and I pledge that I am in compliance with the Bon Secours College of Nursing honor system. Matt S. is the nurse manager of the coronary care unit. He is logged on to his computer workstation to review and update patient records when one of his patients experiences a cardiac arrhythmia. At the sound of the alarm, Matt leaves his workstation and proceeds to the patient's room to initiate treatment. Joe is in the hallway cleaning and replacing ceiling lights. When Joe sees the vacant workstation, he sits down at the terminal and searches for information about his neighbor who is a patient on another unit. Joe's neighbor has been quite mysterious about his medical condition, and Joe is very curious about what is really wrong with his neighbor. Joe learns the truth about his neighbor's health condition and shares this information with another neighbor. Identifying the ethical dilemma in this scenario is a priority. The ethical issues presented in this scenario are the patient's right to privacy and confidentiality, the patient well-being, and the nurse-patient trust. Matt, the nurse manager, has an obligation to secure the privacy of his patients by logging off the computer workstation which holds the patient medical records and data. Matt also has a professional and ethical obligation to respond rapidly to his patient in need. The dilemma of Joe, a hospital worker, accessing the unsecured workstation and patient electronic health record is a breach of patient confidentiality. Confidentiality and privacy are based on the bedrock of trust that must always exist in the patient-nurse relationship, and so every effort must be maintained to safeguard these patient rights. The American Nurses Association provision addresses the protection of the rights of privacy and confidentiality. The patient's well-being could be jeopardized by unauthorized access to data or by the inappropriate or unwanted disclosure of identifiable information. Matt should have taken a few seconds to log off and secure his workstation. Nursing informatics are widespread and should not be left vulnerable to a breach in confidentiality. Matt violated the nursing code of ethics and likely his institution's code of conduct, policy, and procedure. Joe, the hospital worker, is under the same moral, legal, and ethical standards. Unlicensed personnel and subcontracted hospital employees are responsible for upholding HIPAA. The institution has a responsibility in training all parties in HIPAA guidelines. The consequences in this scenario are that the patient's right to confidentiality has been breached. This is a HIPAA violation. When informatic dilemmas are examined from an ethical standpoint, it promises to influence the development of ethical approaches that begin to accept that healthcare practitioners are working within international networks and must recognize, respect, and regard the diverse political, social, and human factors within informatics ethics. Matt should be held accountable as per his facility policy. A root cause analysis should be done and steps implemented to ensure this is a never again incident. Joe and other ancillary workers should have proper training and accountability in patient confidentiality.